Aloha, beautiful souls. This is Ryan of tranSOULution, and welcome to Transform with Ryan, where I am bringing you that light whenever there are shadows. Now, in this Pick a Card Tarot reading, we are going to be looking at what is clearing for you now. So, what we're going to be examining is maybe there's a problem or a blockage or an obstacle, maybe even a relationship, a job, some kind of circumstance that's clearing for you now. So take a look here. We have four doorways and they're paired with crystals as well. So I'm going to bring them a little closer to the camera so you can take a look. We have this doorway here as the first one, and it's paired with this rhodonite. And next we have this doorway, and it is paired with malachite. After that, we have this doorway here, and it is paired with this moonstone. And last but not least, we have this doorway here, and it's paired with Bloodstone. So I'll give you a moment again to take a look here. Pause the video if you need to, and whenever you're ready, of course, you can go to the description box as per usual and click on the timestamp to go to your reading. Of course, if you feel there is a lot more clearing than just one, feel free to go to whichever readings are calling to you. I will see you there, loves. Hey there, Star Fam! Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. So happy to be doing this reading on you to give you some ideas, some information on what is clearing for you now. And for those of you that are new to this channel, welcome, welcome, welcome! Sending you a warm aloha. So happy that you could join today. And please do let me know in the comments down below where you're tuning in from. I'd love to hear from you. So you were all drawn to the first door here. But before we get into that, you were also perhaps drawn to this rhodonite crystal. And I just wanted to share a little bit about this crystal here. And it's really a great crystal for emotional balancing. So it helps increase the love vibration, love frequency within a person as well as humanity. And it's actually really good for clearing away emotional wounds and scars of the past. So it helps with any patterns even of self-destruction, codependency, abuse, and it transmutes any painful emotions that stem from resentment or anger. So those are just some of the benefits of rhodonite. Now let's see if we can get a little bit more information through your doorway right here. It says offerings. Abundance lies in the heart that allows. Share more than expected and see love come around. And so what I'm sensing here after reading this and feeling into the energies of rhodonite is that there have been some blockages around your heart, most likely due to some heartbreak, some trauma, some pain, some sadness or grief that you've experienced in the past. And those blockages do help kind of, or maybe barriers, boundaries, they do help protect your heart, of course, but sometimes they do such a good job of protecting your heart from anything that's trying to come in that it can also block out love and positive connections into your life. So I'm sensing that some of these walls are gonna start to come down, perhaps weaken a little bit in the days ahead. So let me put this to the side here, and we're going to pull some tarot cards, okay? And we're going to see what more information we can gather about what's being cleared here, okay? And perhaps very, very soon here, you'll be able to receive some of these offerings of connection, these offerings of love, these offerings of friendship and camaraderie. I was like, wait, what word am I trying to say? Camaraderie as well. There's probably some people in your life that would really love to get to know you better, connect with you, and maybe you've been feeling a bit guarded. Again, maybe there's something that happened in the past. So let's get some more information on this and what other help we can get from the crystals and from your guides and your guardians. So I feel like we need to pull these out here. They kind of like slid. So let's see what those say here in a moment. Feeling called to draw 6. So we'll follow that. And we have the 7 of coins here. Let me kind of organize this a little bit. Okay, looks good. And we have the 5 of coins. We have the sun. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. We have the 8 of wands. The world card. And the 2 of wands. Okay, so what's very interesting here with this reading is I'm getting sort of 2 layers of information. I'm getting like past information coming through, and I'm getting sort of like information for your path moving forward as well. So right out the bat here, what I'm sensing is there was some kind of abandonment in your past. Could be due to moving or changing locations is what I'm sensing here. So with this world and this wands card, so perhaps you were perhaps you were an army brat like me when I was growing up. Like my dad was in the army, so we moved around. Sometimes my dad was actually stationed away in a foreign country and we couldn't go with him because it was a time of war or battles. And so there wasn't a lot of time I got to spend growing up around my dad when I was really, really young. And that could have been the case with you, that perhaps a parent wasn't able to spend a lot of time with you. Maybe you had an absent parent. Maybe you had to move around a lot when you were younger, so you couldn't really form very strong bonds with other people, strong connections. And I know when I was younger, I used to envy people who grew up in the same town and they went to the same school with all the different kids, and so they had all these best friends. And I was moving every 2 to 3 years, so I would always have to start fresh at that time, and people might have already created their friendship circles, their group, their crew, and it's hard sometimes as a new person to be welcomed into these established circles of friends already. I mean, thankfully, I lucked out and it didn't take me long to make friends, but I know for some people, especially if you're particularly shy, it can be really hard to do so. Also, what I'm getting is that perhaps for some of you there was young love that you had maybe in high school, in college, and it could be that you felt really connected to this person, but your paths took you in opposite directions, and perhaps even in different cities, different states, different countries. And so there was this heartache and heartbreak and pain from this separation, this physical separation, right? And what I'm sensing too with this card is a bit of abandonment. So perhaps some of you that are watching this video that were drawn to this first card, it could be that you were an orphan, you were adopted, you spent time in foster care or like in the system, as some people say. And so you never really had this stable home, this nurturing environment throughout your childhood. It was a bit maybe chaotic and hectic. That's part of what I'm seeing here. The information was like coming quite fast, so I'm trying to see if there's anything else I'm missing. But what I'm definitely sensing is something from your childhood here. Some element of your childhood was the cause, if not the starting point, for these walls being built up around your heart, and for you to be rather guarded against new people, against creating new relationships. Like you really take your time perhaps, and you're very cautious when you meet new people, and foster a deeper connection with them. Like you're a little hesitant to do so. And really the way you looked at it was some kind of choice, okay? It was the choice of, do I open myself up and have the possibility that I could be hurt or sad or heartbroken again in the future, even though perhaps these people are super cool and you're vibing with them or you're starting to fall for them if it was a romantic connection. There's this part of you that's just worried, this inner child within you that's a bit worried, that's like, okay, is this going to get taken away from me? Is fate or destiny going to pull us apart again? And so it put these walls up in your heart. And with this one here, I'm sensing that there's this part of you that feels like it's almost as if your role in life was meant to just observe life happening around you and not necessarily be a part of it. And that's really interesting. It's kind of like, again, a protection mechanism here where it's like you don't get too invested, you don't get too involved. That way, should you have to leave or move or you have to go to a different place or other people have to do those things, you won't be as hurt over it. Um, Yeah, I'm getting just very strongly that many of you have had grown up in a situation where you did have to travel a bit or move around a bit. It could be that your parents had a different type of job rather than the armed forces that caused you to move around. What I'm seeing here too with the Sun card is, despite you having to move around and these types of systems that you were placed in, foster care system, orphan, like whatever the case may be, you still tried to look on the bright side of things. Like you still tried to find some measure of happiness. I'm sensing that some of you had like a hobby or an interest that kept you entertained, that kept you engaged. It was something that was very reliable for you, right? So that could have been reading, it could be video games, it could be some type of art or craft, like maybe you played an instrument, maybe you painted, wrote poetry. So there was some hobby, something that helped keep your spirits up at least a little bit, while you're going through these difficulties in childhood of separation, um, and maybe a little bit of instability even during your childhood here. Uh, I'm even seeing that perhaps for some of you, one of your parents was single and there were different people, different partners, different lovers that were coming in and out of your parents' life. And they also disrupted the energy a bit, because for whatever reason, some of them didn't stay very long. And it was hard for you to keep being introduced to new people in such a very intimate space, such as your home, right? The home is a very sacred space for a lot of people because that's where you're supposed to feel most protected, most safe. It's the place where you should feel like you're not on guard all the time, right? You don't have to be on alert. You should be able to relax while you're at home. And that didn't seem to be an easy opportunity for a lot of you. Or again, with the moving, you maybe didn't have as much time to settle in, get comfortable with your home, with your environment, with your surroundings. So I see a lot of that energy is clearing. And here, kind of looking at this second layer here, what I'm seeing is with the Eight of Wands, this energy can clear really fast. It's just a matter of setting the intention, doing whatever practices resonate with you for this release, whether that's meditation, yoga, breathing, sound baths, mantras, crystal work, what have you, Reiki even, past life regressions, inner child healing therapy, whatever it is, this energy can really shift and change for you and be healed and released quite quickly if you put in some of the effort and the work. And with this too, with the birds flying, so there are these belief systems that have really anchored you down, weighed you down about the safety of opening up to other people. That can be lifted. It can fly off. It can be released if you really do the work, do the self-reflection, the inner work, that shadow work in particular. I'm sensing a lot of shadow work here with this inner child, as you have this woman here with the cloak around this young what appears to be a young boy, and he's kind of in the shadows of her cloak. And so you can bring this pain from your childhood, this inner child healing, out into the light and heal it as well. I would say it's not something I would recommend doing alone. It seems like it would be more beneficial for you to work with someone who can create a container or a space for you in which to explore some of these shadow aspects of yourself and these subconscious pains and traumas and wounds of the past that maybe you have forgotten about or you keep locked away, so that you can function in life. And it's really about a choice again. So, choosing which path forward to take, like which doorway are you going to walk through? And perhaps this rhodonite would be a good crystal for you to look into getting or purchasing that will help facilitate this healing for you. Okay, so this energy is ripe, if you will, for the picking to work with, to be released, so that you can open up your heart and allow all these offerings that the universe is bringing to you about deeper connections with other people, so that you can experience sort of this other level of life, this other level of connectivity to the people in the world around you that's can be very deep and fulfilling and enriching. And maybe for some of you that are single, you know, removing these blockages around, I keep saying blockages, but these barriers and these walls up around your heart will allow the love of your life to finally come in, if that's something that you desire and something that you wish for. Okay, so I'm going to pull some divine guidance cards here as well to see what else Spirit can say to help you clear this energy. All right, so I'm going to pull 3 cards out. Oh, okay. Oh, 3 cards. Wow. So we have be optimistic, maintain hope, and change your negative thoughts or habits to an absolutely positive perspective. So, you know, kind of like here and here, these perspectives, these changing of what you believe could be possible for you. So if you struggle with negativity, ask the divine to help you let it go. Remind yourself to stay positive and never give up. Beautiful. And then the next card that jumped out is Messenger. A message will be arriving soon. It may be a picture of angel wings, a dropped coin, a wing-shaped cloud, or an angel in human form. Something that only you will understand. Notice the unseen, that you are being guided from above. So this could be something very helpful for those of you that maybe can't think of a specific memory or a specific instance that might be the root of this, that you'll receive a message soon that will help you identify it so that you can work with it more consciously. Okay? And lastly, we have past life. Your question involves your past life. There is a deeper reason why the situation is happening in your life now. Meditate deeply and seek an answer. If not, seek professional help, such as a past life regression therapist. Oh, beautiful. So for some of you, not all of you, I would say, but for some of you, there is some roots within a past life that have built and strengthened, maybe even fortified these walls around your heart here that house some type of trauma from a past life as well that's having effects here in this current life. And, you know, I normally don't mention this in my videos, but I do past life regressions. I do one-to-one coaching and sessions for people. So if my energy resonates with you and you think I could be of service and be of help, I encourage you to reach out to me on Instagram. Just send me a direct message and we can set up a call and I can tell you specifically what I do in regards to your situation and what I can help you with, and we can go from there. Okay, so just putting that out there for those of you that may need that. Of course, there might be other people that you can think of already that you would want to work with. Okay, so next we're, oh, okay, I didn't even get to say what we were doing, and the card's like, I'm ready for you. So I pulled a sacred geometry card for you so that you can take a look at this and it can start activating the pathway for the clearing of these energies, these blockages, these limitations for you here and now. It can start the process, all right? So the card that jumped out that will help you is Magic, card number 31. So take a look at this. Okay, pause the video and just gaze at this image for a few seconds. And the bottom of the card says the frequency of magic supports our intrinsic ability to grow and expand beyond this moment, to move toward possibilities and expressions that are as grand and profound as we can imagine. All that is required is our belief in their manifestation. And so, what Spirit is trying to say is like, hey, if you want something different, if you want to allow something into your life, all you have to do is imagine it, believe it, dream it, and nothing is off limits here for you. Like literally, you can create whatever you want in your life. And it sounds like one of the big keys to creating your desire here is lowering the walls and the guard around your heart here and opening it up to receiving. So, my loves, I really enjoyed doing this reading for you. I had a wonderful time. I'm so happy we got to connect today. If you enjoyed your reading or something resonated with you as well, please make sure to like and comment down below, okay? And if you like the energies, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. That way you don't miss out on any future readings. And if you're up for it, I did link another reading up here that you can go to after you're done here. But otherwise, my loves, sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. Have a very, very wonderful day and best of luck in continuing this process of clearing. Bye. Hey there, Star Fam! Welcome to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. I'm super excited to be sharing with all of you today what is clearing for you now. So some really big energies moving here and being transformed and released. I can already feel it. And for those of you that are new to this channel, I'm sending you all a very, very warm welcome and aloha. So happy to have you here. Do let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. So before we get to the door here, I think it's very important that we talk about this malachite stone, this malachite crystal. And it is a very, very powerful stone. It does a lot of work with transformation, transmutation. And I would say this stone is not for the faint of heart. So for those of you that were drawn to this, I can already sense that you're very adventurous and you're not averse to taking chances, taking risks. You're probably not as inhibited as a lot of people are because that's what this stone really helps with, is lowering these inhibitions, encourages a little bit of risk taking. And so it's definitely for a very profound transformation and change. So it can be helpful for spiritual work, of course. So opening up your mind, your heart, your spirit to messages from the divine, messages from entities and beings that are in the 5D level and beyond. And the thing about malachite, what it can be so why it can be so challenging to work with is because it really just tells you the truth as it is. It really goes, you can say kind of like goes for the jugular, if you will, right? When it comes to exposing these blocks that you have, these areas that need to be healed and released and transformed, right? It's going to really reveal a lot of the shadow aspects of you, perhaps even reveal some traumas and pain of the past that are quite uncomfortable, to say the least, to recall, okay? And it also teaches you about the role that you had to play in the events that unfolded, all right? Because it takes two to tango. And what a lot of people get stuck with is that before you came into this life, you did sort of chart a course for yourself, especially when it comes to situations related to difficult upbringing, okay? And so in that regard, some people might have a hard time reconciling that. What? I chose to grow up in poverty. I chose to have an abusive, disconnected family, a broken household. Right? And you know, what some people also fail to realize in that sort of challenge or difficulty in life is that there's so much growth to be had and understanding about the world and energy and love and connection. There's so much to understand there with that. And one of the things that really helped me when I was on my spiritual journey is that it can be a sign of a very advanced entity or a very advanced being to choose to take on a mission of living a very challenging and difficult life. Because, in that sense, not only are they challenging themselves and wanting to improve themselves for the better, but they're also wanting to help improve the world around them. Okay? Does that make sense, my loves? I say that because I don't want you to hold any resentment for your past. And I don't know why that came through. Probably from spirit here. Yeah, so there's really a huge opportunity here for you, and you have the capabilities to do this very challenging and difficult work, which a lot of people would kind of back away from, and they would be afraid to move forward with. But you are courageous and you're brave and adventurous and you can do this. All right, so don't psych yourself out. Let's see what the doorway says for you. Change beckons. The path is shifting. The road leads a new way. Do not be alarmed as change beckons today. So, for sure, something big is clearing from your path because you are going on an adventure. You are going on a huge, huge new chapter in your life where what I'm sensing is like a big change, and you're going to really have to leave a lot of things behind, particularly things that maybe have created this environment of comfort around you, comfort and security. So that is being cleared away for you because something new is coming in, all right? And I'm getting the sense that it's related to your life purpose and your mission. And for myself, I was doing well when I was working in the field of medicine. Like, I was very much financially secure and, excuse me, quite capable at my job. Like, there was no risk of me losing my job, and I did my job well, and I got along quite well with my patients and my coworkers overall. But there was just something missing. It was like this passion and this deep connection and kind of like rightness, if you will, of what I was doing. And so it took me a long time of like trying to work with those kinds of emotions and energies. After I stopped that phase of ignoring them and shoving them away, to come to realize that I needed to change career paths. And that was a huge change, like leaving the security of a job in medicine to make YouTube videos, like, right? And coach people on self-development, self-improvement. It's like a really, really big change. And I was very uncertain. It was very scary. And sometimes I still get a little bit scared, to be honest. But change beckoned me, just like change is beckoning you now. And so for a lot of you, what's clearing away is something, again, that you've grown quite accustomed to, maybe even a certain degree of attachment to. It could be a job that you're at. It could be a relationship you're in. It could be a home that you live in. It could be a friendship that is no longer healthy for you, or perhaps it's not resonating with you. Like, you and this friend are just on a different plane, on a different level, and having different experiences, and you're just growing apart. And that friendship, brought a lot of love and joy and laughter and security in the past, and like this level of someone really understanding you. And perhaps that's been slowly dissolving, and it's time to just let it go. So let's get some more information on this, okay? We have the Queen of Coins, the Queen of Chalice. Oh, wow, we have two queens here. So I'm sensing for sure for a lot of you, it involves another person. What's being cleared away? The Lovers. Okay, well, there we go. So for many of you, it could even be a romantic connection or someone you deeply, deeply love and care about, even if it is platonic or friendship or familial love. Next, we have the Ace of Wands, the Two of Coins, And the Six of Coins. Okay, yes. So, what I'm getting for a lot of you, something that is clearing away is a relationship that you've had for quite some time now, perhaps even years. Some of you may have even known this person from your childhood, childhood buddies, childhood friends. Maybe your parents are even friends with each other, right? And so, with the Queen of Coins and the Queen of Chalices, this could involve people who are earth signs or water signs, okay? Maybe you are an earth sign or a water sign. And I'll just iterate for some of you that aren't as familiar with astrology and the zodiac, but earth signs would be Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. So Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo are earth signs. And for water signs, we have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces are water signs. So it could definitely, for many of you, I'm sensing, involve a relationship with someone who is in one of those signs, okay? And with the Lover's card and the Two of Coins, it's really about a choice. It's a choice of what I'm sensing for many of you is you are at this point in your life where you have been sensing a very, very big shift, a new beginning. Particularly, what I'm seeing here is when it comes to belief systems, spirituality, worldviews, and what was other passions, right? Maybe you're not as passionate about this relationship as you used to be, and it's kind of gotten a bit like so or lukewarm. Like the passion and love is gone, especially for those of you in a romantic relationship, right? The passion is no longer there. The love and adoration is just no longer there in this relationship, and it's not, and it's not even like comfortable friendship anymore. It's just kind of like indifference is what I'm feeling here from the cards. Is like there's this feeling of indifference towards this relationship, this person. And it may even be turning into like almost like a chore to hold space with them, share time with them, meet up with them, right? Arrange date nights and things like that. It's just starting to feel like a bit of a chore. And what I'm sensing is that there's just really not this ability to relate to each other anymore. And, you know, with this Ace of Wands here, definitely when it comes to opinions, beliefs, value systems, spirituality, religion, those types of things, that's a, the real crux of where you're not connecting anymore. And, you know, to be honest, like with things that have been happening in the recent years, like 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, like a lot of people, their views on the world and how the world works and this enlightenment to their true calling, their true life path, people connecting with their higher selves, connecting with religion, right? In different ways. Like we're seeing that a lot of people, you know, are kind of shifting their perspective on a lot of things surrounding life. And for the people that are around them that know them to be one way, it's really hard for them to adjust and adapt to this new version of the person that they thought that they knew. And so that is really hard. And I, you know, to be honest, my love, such is the way of life. You know, you evolve, you change, you grow, but so do other people. So do other people around you. And so, thing like it's not unreasonable or unimaginable to think that relationships will change as well. I mean, I can think of a few people that I used to be really good friends with when I was in high school, when I was in undergrad, when I was in PA school, and I don't really talk to those people anymore. And it's not because they're bad people or anything like that, but it's just we're not on the same page, you know? For example, some people married and had kids, and I don't have children, and so their lives really center around their children, providing for them, raising them, supporting them, and I just can't relate to that, you know, because I don't have children. I don't have that kind of responsibility, and my schedule is a lot more flexible to do things, and there's a little bit more restrictive because they have to get daycare, childcare if they want to hang out with me. And sometimes they're just too exhausted from going to work and then taking care of their kids to want to do anything else with other people. They want their alone time. So, it could be something as simple as that, but because of the connection that you have that's so strong, it again could be for many years here. It's hard to let that go because of that attachment to it. Maybe even a sense of loyalty, of commitment, of promise, of being besties forever, of promise of loving and each other for better, for worse, through sickness and health, like the vows that you've made. It can be hard to back out on them. But sometimes, life takes us in different directions and we need to honor that. Okay. So that's really what I'm seeing here. And Spirit is saying, like, it's okay. All right. I'm sensing many of you maybe were already feeling that there's a relationship in your life that was really important to you before, and now you're feeling it slipping through your fingers, and this distance between the two of you getting wider and wider. And Spirit is saying it's natural. This is what was meant to be at this point and this stage in both of your lives. Okay. And it's okay. It's okay to let it go. You'll definitely have opportunities here to make strong connections once again. All right. So let's get some divine oracle cards here to provide some more guidance with this clearing process, some more assistance and aid here. Okay. All right. So we have no judgment. Are you comparing yourself with others? Everyone is different and unique. Focus on improving yourself and on your own happiness rather than focusing on others. Okay, so, before I grabbed this deck, I was called to look at these ships here and look at, like, hold on, let me put this down so I can bring it a little closer, and look at how rough the waters are. So what I'm sensing is that you and most likely this other person went through your own personal trials and tribulations and have come out as different people on the other side, right? And this journey that you both have experienced of going through your own life struggles has really shaped you. Okay. And it was almost as if the two of you couldn't really hold space for each other or be there for each other as you normally would have been, because this was your own self journey, your own inner journey. And as you both went through it, you both were changed and transformed. And now the people you are coming out of this trial, this tribulation, this struggle, is just, you're not in alignment anymore. Okay. And it's not a judgment on either of your parts, like you both have your new path, your new directions. You've both changed to in your own unique and different ways, and the pieces just don't fit. And the focus now is on your journey, who you are now and who they are now, not who you were before. Okay. And so Spirit is saying, like, now is the time to continue on your journey forward, and they will continue on their journey forward. You can't, I'm sensing it's like, it's not really an opportunity to bring them along with you, if that makes sense. Next, we have wish. The divine heard your wish. It will come true. You have the divine's attention. Now is the time to make a wish. Make a list of your wishes and let the divine work for you. So, a lot of things in life are an energy exchange. So perhaps there was some type of change that came into your life. And so the universe is creating the way for this wish to come true, for this desire to manifest. And part of the path forward is losing some things, releasing some things. And in this case for you, looks like it's a person, okay? That needs to be let go of at this time for you to move forward to claim your wish. Next, we have be assertive. Are you in a toxic situation? Stand up for your own or other people's rights in a calm and positive way. Keep healthy boundaries, both physically and emotionally. They cannot affect you unless you let them. So, I have to say, I've heard many people kind of sharing their experience that with the events that have happened recently in the world, there's been this polarizing effect on people where you're either strongly on this side or strongly on this side. It's very hard for people to meet in the middle. And so, what I'm sensing is perhaps with this person, this deep transformation and change within your belief systems, within how you view the world and what should and shouldn't be done, and your sense of morals and ethics have really evolved. And it can be a cause for arguments and disagreements between you and this other person. And, perhaps neither of you are really going to give ground or give way, and you're standing very firm in your beliefs here, and there's no space for compromise. And I'm not saying, that they're wrong, you're right, or vice versa. No judgment here, like this card says, but it it doesn't help either of you to be in a constant state of conflict, or to not be able to communicate openly with each other because you're afraid of risking an argument or a disagreement, and you just kind of like don't want to fight, and so you don't talk about each other, you don't really connect and open up, right? You're kind of closed off. And so again, I'm just hearing from spirit over and over again that it's okay to let this relationship go. It doesn't mean you're a bad friend, doesn't mean you're a bad spouse or a bad lover or a bad partner or bad son, child, daughter, niece, uncle, aunt, whatever, right? Doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means like you both need your space right now. That's all that means. And the only constant is change. So who knows what the path forward leads, right? Maybe you guys just can't be in each other's space right now, but you might reconnect again in the future. Who knows, right? But for now, definitely at least a time out from each other. So I have a sacred geometry card for you to activate you on a subconscious level to help with this clearing process. And that is dynamic. Ooh, look at this. There's a lot of like circles and spots on this card. I don't think I've ever seen this in all the time I've owned this deck. So take a look at this image. I encourage you to pause the video for a few seconds or a minute and just gaze at the image. So it says here on the bottom, the frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. So definitely with this image, a lot of shifts and change is happening in your life. Some of things will stay the same and some things are going to be radically different. And so this energy here, this geometric shape will help you stay grounded, will help you find the joy in change and new opportunities and the release of old energies and old connections, okay? And it'll make it a little bit easier for you to move through this shift. So my loves, I hope you really enjoyed this reading. If it resonated with you, if you got anything out of it, please like and comment down below. If you love the vibes here at this channel and you are not yet subscribed, I invite you to do so that way you don't miss out on any videos. And I did link a video up here if you want to do another reading, so you can click that here once you're done. But otherwise, I'm wishing you all the best on this journey forward of clearing out old relationships that you no longer resonate with. I'm sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. Bye. Hey there, Star Fam. Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. So happy to have you here today, and I'm so excited to be talking about a very deep topic here about what is clearing for you now and sort of making way for something new to come into your life. And I'm really excited to dive deep. And for those of you that are new to this channel, sending you a very warm welcome and aloha. So happy to have you here. And do let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments down below. I would really love to hear from you. So before we get into this doorway, I definitely would like to take a moment to talk about this moonstone because it's a key element in what we're discussing. it's so interesting because the crystals just called out and wanted to be part of this reading, and I didn't think anything of it. And I originally was not going to talk about them, but as I got into the readings, I found it was very important to do so. And so, Moonstone is really a stone of new beginnings, and it's connected with the divine feminine. So it helps with calming you down. So if maybe you have a lot of patterns in regards to anger, being triggered, being aggressive, it helps soothe and calm those energies down to create a little bit more balance within you. And the other thing that the divine feminine is very strong with is receptivity. So being able to receive blessings, offerings, guidance, information in a way that is helpful for you and that you don't really get defensive for, or you don't block out, right? Because it just doesn't, because you don't agree with it, right, on a conscious level. And what it's also really good at is enhancing psychic and intuitive gifts. So being able to have another layer of sensing and understanding and receiving information of the world around you and the environment. Okay. And because it's the divine feminine as well and it's a moonstone, it's really good with working with your emotions. So any areas that you feel unstable, insecure, really stressed out, so the moonstone will help relieve some of those. So what I'm sensing overall for many of you is that something is going to be revealed to you, like a subconscious belief, because again, the domain of the moon is the subconscious with dreams, things like that. And so something is going to be brought to light that is like no good for you anymore. And you're going to be invited to and given the opportunity to release that. For others of you, I'm sensing that there is a situation that has been causing you a lot of anger, a lot of stress, and spirit, your angels, your guides are assisting you right now to clear that energy away. Bring it to a resolution, okay? Yeah, and there's also, again, something about the anger. Like maybe you just have a short temper or you're easily triggered just in general, okay? Not in regards to a simple situation, but just in general. And that behavioral pattern is going to be loosened, is going to be released as well. Hopefully in the long term, you're going to find that whatever this trigger is, at least one of them, right? You're not going to be triggered by that anymore. So yeah, I'm very curious to see. I feel like there, so far out of the different readings, this one, there's a lot more variety with this one. Like there's a lot of different situations that are going to apply to those of you that were drawn to this card. So psychic abilities is one, right? So opening yourself up, so removing blocks that are doubts with your abilities that are blocking you from receiving the full breadth of knowledge that your intuition and your psychic abilities are sharing with you. The other thing is a situation that has been creating a lot of anger and stress in your life right now that's going to be cleared and resolved. And then for others of you, it's like a behavioral pattern related to emotions of anger and aggression. So maybe releasing the triggers, healing the wounds that cause you to respond so angrily at times. Okay, so those are kind of the major things I'm picking up on already. Now let's take a look at your door. Okay, this is a really cool door. I feel like this might be even in Japan because I feel like I've seen this pathway before when I went to visit a shrine at this village. So anyways, it doesn't tell us where it's at, unfortunately, but on the back it says silent skill. I challenge you to unpack your mind in meditation's grace. The soul can unwind. So again, this is speaking to, when it's talking about unpacking your mind, it's talking about bringing the unconscious into the consciousness. So identifying on a conscious level, what are these blocks that you're experiencing to embracing your gifts of intuition, psychic abilities? What is this trauma that your mind has hidden from you, your conscious mind anyway, What have you hidden from yourself that is a trigger or a wound from the past that creates these patterns for you of anger and aggression? And also, for those of you that and a situation is clearing for you, perhaps there is a solution that can be found within the depths of your mind, some type of compromise that you can take action on to resolve this situation. Okay, so let's get some more information on this by drawing some tarot cards. Okay, wow, already, I mean, this reading is sounding so rich to begin with. Let me know if you can think of what this is that's already clearing for you. And, if you write this down as like an affirmation, like, I release all triggers that spark anger within me. Right? Like, if you just list that as a intention, that will take you like way, way far ahead along your journey here of clearing this energy, if you will, okay? So let's see what we got here. We have the King of Cups. Oh, how perfect. I just have to pause right here and just say, like, the King of Cups is individual. Again, male or female, doesn't matter. But the King of Cups is an individual who is very aware of emotional responses, emotional triggers, and the value even of things like compassion, forgiveness, grace. So this person is an expert at navigating all the changing currents of emotions, not only within themselves, but with other people as well. There's this level of understanding and empathy associated with the King of Cups. They have mastery over this, and they can help people overcome this as well, whatever their emotional struggles may be, or hold space for them. And they know really how to interact with people in a very compassionate way, is like the way I can think of it. They know how to navigate other people's emotional responses and not really get influenced or swayed by them or succumb to them. We have the Three of Cups here, so definitely some harmony, some resolution, some celebration happening. The Seven of Coins, the Eight of Cups, so a lot of Cups energy here, and the Seven of Wands, and the Four of Coins. Okay, so I'm not surprised that we see a lot of Cups energy here, because we were just talking about what the Moonstone is particularly good at or helpful with. There's a lot of emotional, intuitive things, right? And that is the domain of the Cups. So here, what I'm sensing with the Seven of Coins is the key to the clearing and to you sort of awakening and stepping into yet a higher version of yourself is self-reflection, looking at where have you been, what have you done in the past that helped shape your present. Okay, so looking back on the past, looking at the actions that you've taken, the actions of other people. The actions of other people, not as important. This is more about you. So the actions that you have taken that have led to your current situation. And then once you've had an opportunity to do that, reflecting on, well, what is ready to be changed so that these same patterns, these same behaviors, these same outcomes don't keep happening again and again and again. So what you're looking for in this reflection is recurring patterns in your life. And you're going to look at the common thread between them and the opportunity for change and transformation. Okay, so like, say, I'm just going to do this very, very silly example, but say that every time someone says the word stupid, you get really, really triggered and really, really angry. And they might not even be talking to you. They might not even be talking about you. They might not even be talking about another person. It could just be something like, oh, this whole situation is just so stupid. And you get triggered. You get so angry. and you snap at them and they're like, oh my gosh, why are you so angry? I wasn't even saying anything to you or talking to you. I just said the situation is stupid. And it's because perhaps like your parents or someone you really respected or thought highly of, they called you stupid often when you were younger. And now every time you hear the word stupid, it kind of triggers something within you as if you were getting, insulted again, right? Even though no one's talking about you, but you're just been so trained to think from your upbringing that, the word stupid is always directed at you and is always an insult to you and meant to put you down. And so now when you hear it, you kind of get called back. Your mind and your emotions bring you back to that time in your childhood. So I know a rather simplistic example. A lot of times the issue could be a bit more complex than that when you're doing this inner shadow work and subconscious work. But I just wanted to kind of iterate a very simple example and to help you maybe discover where your trigger is or where your pain points are. All right, that keep recurring, that create maybe some challenges or difficulties in your life here in the present, even though whatever that event was, that traumatic event was way, way, way in the past. Okay. And here with the Eight of Coins, excuse me, the Eight of Cups, it's about leaving it behind. So what I'm sensing from this card that Spirit would like to pass on to you is you had these expectations in the past where you thought like, if I do XYZ, then I'm going to get ABC. Okay. And you were just really attached. Like, this is how it has to be. A plus B equals C. Always. This is the only way it can be done. And I'm just stuck with it. This is the truth of my reality. And Spirit is saying, like, hold on. There are very few absolutes in the universe, in this reality. And so be open to the possibility that A plus B could equal D. A plus B could equal M. A plus D could equal X. Okay, so just be open to that, like let go of these attachments. So kind of going back to this example, like, okay, anytime someone says the word stupid, it has nothing to do with you. Could it have something to do with something else? Could it have something to do with people saying that because when they get injured, like, ow, stupid door, I stubbed my toe on it again, right? And so the word stupid is not linked to you in any way. Stupid can be linked to other things. Does that make sense, my loves? I don't know why Spirit is like having me share this example, but I'm trusting, I guess, that it will be helpful to some of you viewing this reading, okay? So be open to letting go of expectations, to letting go of certain associations that you may have, that A plus B equals C again, and allow room for something to change, okay? Yeah. Spirit was trying to give me other examples, but I feel like maybe those examples are exhausted. But okay, fine. Let me just go with it. Okay. So Spirit was also saying examples like perhaps there is a certain type of person that you date, right? You have a dating pattern that you have, and as you seem to be attracted to the same type of person, but now you've conditioned yourself to believe that this same type of person has, like, the fate of your relationship is going to be guaranteed because they fit this description. Okay, so I don't know, we'll just say people with brown hair, right? You love people with dark brown hair, and that's kind of something that you find very attractive, and it's a quality that you would love in a partner, is brown hair, like a brunette or something. And you keep dating these people with brown hair and they keep letting you down and breaking up with you, or the relationship doesn't work out, you break up with them, whatever. And now on a subconscious level, you're starting to associate people with brown hair as people who you cannot have a long-lasting relationship with. And you're doing that on a subconscious level, okay? Even though on a conscious level, when I say it out loud, you're probably thinking, well, that sounds really silly. But it's not on the subconscious level. It's because this pattern is repeating. And so it's about bringing those belief systems up and those patterns to your attention and creating a new narrative, a new story. All right. Now, what else do we have going on here? So here, this Four of coins, Four of Pentacles, is really mentioning about stubbornness, this attachment, this adherence, this unwillingness to deviate from whatever you believe is the right course. And so Spirit is saying, like, hey, like, open up. There are other pathways to love. There are other pathways to forgiveness. There are other pathways to having a resolution of a conflict, okay? There are other ways to receive information, right? You don't have to just do yoga for an hour a day and that's like your discipline and your routine. Maybe you need to explore breath work. Maybe you need to explore hiking. Maybe you need to explore learning tarot or something, right? Like yoga isn't the only way to connect to spirit, or prayer isn't the only way to connect to spirit, right? So don't get stuck in old ways. Don't be stubborn, and be open to trying something new. That's what Spirit is saying, okay? And here, to me, this is speaking to sort of the divine masculine energy in a lot of you that were drawn to the Moonstone. And it's this energy that you have of being defensive all the time. Like maybe some of you have a habit of feeling like you're always being attacked when someone disagrees with you, or that you're always on the defensive, or you always feel like something's out to get you, or that the universe isn't kind and is always going to pull the rug out from under you, or you're always going to get so close but never reach the goal. And so you get very defensive and you get very and sometimes that defensiveness turns into aggression, okay? And perhaps you may even be picking fights when there's no reason to pick fights, or you're looking for fights when no one is really wanting to engage with you in that way, okay? It's like you're just like looking for a reason to be offended, or looking for a reason that will support the negative, okay? So that's really important for you to take a pause and a moment to really reflect upon, all right? And, none of us are perfect. There are some ways in which I get triggered myself, right? But it's that awareness of knowing what your triggers are that gives you the opportunity to shift the energy out of this pattern, to let it go and create something new, something more joyous, something that allows more connectivity, more love, compassion, forgiveness, joy into your life. All right, my loves? Okay. So let's pull some divine oracle cards out here for you, some more guidance, something that will be helpful from Spirit along your journey forward with clearing these energies out, all right? Wow, so much information already for this reading. Like Moonstone definitely had a lot to communicate today for those of you drawn to that card. So we have soulmate. This situation is related to your soulmate, the person who connects with you at your soul level. Soulmates are not only for romantic relationships. The soulmate is given to you for you to meet and to work within this lifetime to grow spiritually together. So definitely for some of you, it could be that your relationships have been strained with a soulmate. So that for a lot of people is like a lover, a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever. But soulmates can also be family members or friends that you're really, 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 really close with. And so there could be some sort of anger there, some sort of disagreement, some aggression there. And that is ready to be cleared out and ready to heal so you can move forward. And it's about working and growing together spiritually. So when people challenge us, it's because there's a lesson to be learned here, okay? It's not simply like a punishment, right? When we experience drama or conflict in our life, it's because this is an opportunity for even further growth and evolution of our spirit, of our soul, of our mind. Next, we have fairy. Oh, interesting. The nature works with divine beings. A fairy can help you with your manifestations. Be kind and loving towards nature. Fairies love those who recycle and have environmental awareness. It is a gift from the divine. So for sure, this is speaking to those of you that are really developing your psychic and intuitive abilities. As you grow in your abilities, you will start to see things that the average person is not able to see. I've talked to some people who say they're able to see fairies. I've talked to people who are able to see auras, right? Maybe they're able to hear things, see things that other people don't hear or see that can give them clues about the future, about the current situation, things like that, all right? So just being open to receiving messages from all sources that are in service of the light, in service of love, that have the highest and greatest good of everybody involved in mind, okay? Because you don't want to invite necessarily the more malevolent or mischievous energies, right? As you open yourself up to this psychic world. And we have divine timing. Everything happens in divine timing. Your answer will come to you later. Trust the universe, be positive in every situation, and you will be rewarded with a positive outcome. So, Spirit is basically just saying, have a little bit of patience, y'all. Have a little bit of patience. This process is not easy and it's not always quick either. So have patience through this. Don't give up. Don't let anger, especially, right? Anger was a big theme of this conversation today. Don't let anger or frustration take over you, or annoyance. Like, just go with the flow, take your deep breaths, or whatever things that help calm and relax you. I know for me, essential oils are really good for calming and relaxing me as well. And so you might want to consider like Roman chamomile or lavender or tree scents. So like Douglas fir, cedarwood, sandalwood. Those can be very calming scents for you if you are prone to anger or frustration, all right? And now this final card here, the Sacred Geometry card, is designed, and the intention here with this card is to activate you, to activate and open the gateway for this clearing on a subconscious level, and then it will rise up to the conscious, okay? And you'll be more aware now of the things that are clearing and moving out of your life. So you got the sacral chakra. So take a moment here to look at this image for a few seconds or a minute if you need to. So you can pause the video now if you'd like to gaze at this sacred geometry. And so on the bottom, it says the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. So for many of you, it could be that your sacral chakra is a bit blocked right now, and perhaps doing some of this work will help you unblock it or uncover the source of the block so that you can work with it and remove it. What I'm sensing, the lower chakras really are about our sense of stability and security within the world and our ability to interact with the physical world, okay? Interact with other people, make money, have a job, have a home, those types of themes, if you will. And so really maybe looking at the ways in which your sense of security, sense of self, sense of individuality maybe are challenged, okay? And that might be the trigger, right? Is because you don't feel safe. You don't feel cared for. You don't feel secure. You don't feel stabilized as far as like knowing what the outcome is always going to be, okay? So just kind of looking at that. Again, it has to do with expectations and working with that energy. If you need a little bit of help, definitely reach out to me. I don't always feel called to promote that or let people be aware of the work that I do one-to-one, but I feel like with this reading today that it might be a benefit for some of you. So just, there's a link to my Instagram profile here on my YouTube channel. So just DM me on Instagram, and then we can set up a call and we can discuss what your needs are and how I can help you, okay? Now, for those of you where this reading really resonated, you got something out of it, found it helpful in some way, make sure to like and comment down below. Of course, I invite you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already so that you don't miss out on any future videos. And I did link a video up here in the top right corner if you're ready for another reading that I trust you will enjoy just as much. Otherwise, best of luck on your psychic spiritual journey. Best of luck on resolving these issues surrounding anger and stress. And I will see you again soon. Sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. Bye. Hey there, Star Fam! Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. I'm so stoked to be going over what is clearing for you now. It's going to be something amazing, it's going to be something super transformative, and I can't wait to dive deeper into what that is. Now, for those of you that are new to this channel, sending you a very warm welcome and aloha. So happy to have you here. Do let me know in the comments down below where you're tuning in from. I'd love to hear from you. So, normally, I don't talk about the crystals when I do the readings, but today, when I was preparing the options for you to choose from, the crystals really wanted to be recognized for the purpose and the assistance that they can provide on your journey. So, those of you that were drawn to this pair here, you were also drawn to this Bloodstone. And so let me tell you a little bit about this crystal, this stone right here. And, with the name Bloodstone, a big part of what this stone does is cleanse the blood. Now, other things that this can do, aside of cleansing, healing the blood, is it can enhance and increase intuition, creativity. It helps keep out any undesirable influences. It helps stimulate dreams, and it helps with teaching you how to avoid any dangerous situations and teach you and guide you about strategic withdrawal and flexibility. It helps calm your mind, of course, and gets rid of confusion and allows you, or I should say, helps you with decision making processes. And so, what I'm feeling from the energy in this stone today is for a good portion of you, the stone is actually helping you come to a very smart and very strategic solution for a situation that you're currently in, something that has definitely been weighing on you quite a bit and causing a bit of maybe chaos, stress, grief in your life for sure. And another thing that kind of came through as I was feeling into the crystal and learning more about it as well was, for some of you, actually there's something about your ancestral line, your like generational energies that is also clearing, which I found very, very interesting. And it's reminding me of a class that I took about connecting with your ancestors and seeing sort of what energies and what influences of their lives have been affecting your current life. Because in spiritual learning and spiritual teachings, there are many who believe that not only do you inherit the DNA of your ancestors, so your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents, and so on and so forth, but you also inherit a lot of their energies, if you will, okay? And some people are born into this world to help cleanse any generational trauma, any generational pain, ancestral wounds from the past, from obviously their ancestors, right? And so for some of you as well, I'm sensing that you have a beautiful purpose on this planet at this time to help clear any generational wounds. So I would encourage those of you that are a little curious by that or resonate with that on some level to look into ancestral healing, okay, and releasing ancestral wounds. Personally, I'm not one to believe in curses, but maybe some people also might find that topic of interest. And more on a scientific level, what I wanted to bring up is, some people, they think that they inherit certain diseases and traits from their parents. And in some cases, yes, that could be very true. There is a genetic link there. But there are some instances, like when we think of people who are alcoholics or gamblers or those sort of negative personality traits that some people look at that can be inherited from your parents, that cycle can be broken as well. So maybe some people fear that They're going to be addicted to alcohol or drugs or gambling, just like one of their parents are. Or they think that, oh, because my parents are poor, I'm going to be poor, right? Like they feel trapped by the circumstances during their birth and of their childhood, and that they can't break free of that. And what I'm sensing for many of you is that is really clearing, and you are your own divine sovereign being, and you can really create the type of life that you want, and you don't have to feel like you're at the mercy of your genetics or your ancestors or whatever sort of path or pattern or standard that your ancestors held for you. All right, my loves? So, wow, that felt really powerful to be able to share and channel some of those messages. So let's look at what it says here on your beautiful blue door here. And I love that there's all these plants around it as well. It says, the art of life. There's no sacred light in the aura of an invisible life. Be bold in your skin. Let your love dance in sight. Oh, this is beautiful. So, definitely the mentioning here of the art of life. We were talking about how Bloodstone can really help with dreams and creativity and giving you that inspiration. And so, for those of you that are feeling some kind of artistic block, that is going to be cleared away for you. So that's great. So hopefully you're ready to engage with your muses, your inspiration, because it sounds like you're going to have this creative spark and creative streak to express yourself in ways that you felt restricted or blocked from before. I'm also, with the word art, the art of life, I'm also seeing, as we were talking about navigating some maybe dangerous situations, and it might not be dangerous necessarily as like life threatening, right? But it could speak to like concerns over your financial situation or matters of the heart in which you're trying to avoid heartbreak and disappointment or financial ruin, those kinds of situations. And you're going to find that your concerns and your problems are going to be cleared away here very, very shortly. And you're going to find quite the creative solution to them. And creative could just mean also too that a solution to a problem or a situation or a circumstance in which you never thought of before, or you would have never thought of doing that or implementing that solution in a million years. All right, so something a bit maybe uncharacteristic of you, even in ways you handle some sort of challenge or obstacle. Okay, so let's get some more information from the tarot here. I'm really curious because this talk about the bloodstone has been really, really intriguing, and I was called to pick up this crystal when I was in Canada. Actually, this was like a few years back, and honestly, I haven't worked with Bloodstone much since I got it, but it just wanted to be a part of my collection. And now, as I reflect upon that, it could just be that the Bloodstone was here to support all the other crystals that I had at this point in time, and maybe on a more subconscious level, support me on my spiritual journey. But it might actually be calling to work with me more directly now, just like it could be calling to several of you to work with that more directly. So let's find out what the tarot has to add to this. We have, ooh, the World. I love that. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. The Sun. Ooh, another great card, actually. And the Ten of Cups. Wow, what a beautiful trio already out the gate. And we have Ace of Cups, the Chariot. Oh my gosh, you get 3 major arcana cards, and the Page of Wands. So half of this is major arcana. So something definitely really big. And I feel that ancestral line is going to be that clearing of the ancestral line, ancestral patterns is going to be big for many of you. And that's what's kind of jumping out to me in regards to the World card, okay? And what's coming through right now, as well as with the Sun card, with each generation, each child that is born to a family, a lot of the elders in the family look toward the child as like, the golden child, right? Like the sun, this golden globe of light in the sky. And a lot of parents and grandparents, aunts, uncles, and stuff, the elders again in the family, when a new child is born, they often hope that their child has a better life than they did, that things will be better for them, right? And that they'll sort of change the tone and the trajectory of the family itself. That, if their child does better, then the grandchildren will do even better, and the great grandchildren will do even better. And so I feel like there's this sense of hope here from the ancestral line that as you clear these patterns and clear these energies, that there's a brighter future for your family line here. And that's like, wow, that's so powerful and so beautiful. And I really love that. Um, Now, as I kind of just hone in on the other cards here, definitely for many of you, there's going to be a clearance, excuse me, of blockages regarding love and romance. Okay, the Ace of Cups really speaks to that, and allowing new connections to come in, and that you will stand out more than you had before. So maybe if you're like on a dating app and you weren't getting very many matches, it could be now that you are going to see a rise in the number of matches that you are getting on your dating app. Or if you don't use that, perhaps you'll have a couple of opportunities here, people asking you out on a date while you're out, in the world, I guess, at a bar, at a club, whatever. You're going to be approached by people who are very interested in going on a date with you and getting to know you in a romantic capacity. So that's beautiful. And you actually also, so we have a Ace of Cups and a Page of Wands. So a lot of new beginning energy. It's like a fresh start is what I'm getting. Um, and with the Chariot, um, definitely that speaks to me of that problem solving we were talking about, things sort of becoming more clear to you, and this confidence. So with the Chariot, I'm sensing this burst of confidence in your abilities to get through a situation, solve a problem, sort of uh, design or arrange an outcome that really you're going to be happy with, okay? There's a lot of happiness here in this reading. There's a lot of happiness and hope that things are getting better, things are improving for you, no matter what the situation is. So all the blockages, all the negativity associated with that are going to be cleared, okay? Artistic blocks, cleared. Familial, ancestral blocks, cleared. Romantic blocks, cleared. Okay, creativity blocks, cleared. So I'm seeing a lot of that here. And with this Page of Wands, what I am feeling is this new outlook on life, this new belief, and kind of like identity really is what I'm getting, because we also have the sun to support that, which, in astrology and the zodiac, the sun represents our core persona, our identity, our ego, even, if you will, our ego identity. And with the Page of Wands, I'm seeing this new way of expressing yourself out in the world. It's kind of like, hey, maybe you held on to this identity again, like I was saying earlier, like, oh, my parents were drunk, so I'm gonna be a drunk, or my parents were poor, so I'm gonna be poor. There's this inspiration now to assume a new identity and a new way of living your life and say, no, I'm going to be this amazingly successful, self-sufficient being, and I'm going to amass a level of wealth that my ancestors never knew, and I'm going to be able to use that wealth to support my family and create a better future for all of us and my own family moving forward even. And here, a lot of that creative energy too with your artwork, where I'm sensing this new chapter in your art and your expression and your creativity. It's almost, I don't want to say a reinvention of yourself, but it's sort of like the debut of the next iteration of you, right? I'm thinking of like artists where they have different collections, right? And each collection sort of has its flavor and its theme. And so there's this new theme for your next collection of art, whether that be pottery, paintings, music, even whatever your modality of expression may be. Um, I see that as something new coming through for you, and it's again not necessarily reinventing yourself, but this new iteration of you and expressing yourself. And I'm sensing even more people being drawn to your art, more people being drawn to your creative expression, even for some of you that are social influencers. That's coming through just now as well. That those of you in the limelight, right? In the limelight, a lot of popularity, a lot of eyes on you, an international audience, even. So you have very far reach and a presence beyond just the scope of your town, your country. Yeah, oh my gosh, yes. Social media is definitely really coming through here on this, that you are going to really start to blow up and be recognized and be seen. And you're going to start expressing yourself a little bit differently, and but still very authentic to you. It's sort of like what I'm seeing is like this flower, and the petals are like kind of moving out, is kind of like blooming and revealing more of the beauty of the flower within, like the center part of the flower. Um, Almost like a lotus, maybe even a rose for some of you. Rose, oh my God, right there. I just mentioned a rose. And a lot of this, and we have lotus, because lotuses often are in like muddy water is where they bloom. Um, yes, and a lot of fast moving energy here with this chariot. Okay, so moving forward confidently, more um, self-assured here, no more doubts, and like barreling through all the barriers and all the obstacles. So this is like really, really beautiful energy for a lot of you, this new beginning, clearing away of the old energies, old belief systems, old limitations, and allowing you to really shine, connect with new people, find new um, ways of being happy, actually, right? It's like maybe you were having a one area of your life you weren't happy in, like maybe you weren't happy with your job, you weren't happy with your relationship, you weren't happy with a family situation, you weren't happy with your health or whatever. And now this whole um, opening now to experience happiness in those realms because of this clearing of the old energy. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you all. Yay! This is amazing. Um, I had to take a break to go um, run some errands today before your reading, actually. And you were the last one. And I was, to be honest, I was a bit nervous that I wasn't going to be able to kind of easily get back into the energy of this reading, because I had to take a break. And it feels so good to connect back into this. And I can, spirit and the way things move in life, the flow of life and creativity and expression, you just got to trust it, and I'm so happy that we're calling all these wonderful and beautiful messages through. And I shouldn't even have been worried about reconnecting with the energies to do this reading for you. And you shouldn't either. You should never feel concerned about connecting to your destiny path, to your way of creation, okay? That if something has to get put to the side for a moment so you can address something else, you can always come back to it. And it's almost like you can pick up right where you left off. Wow. I don't even know where that came from, but I hope that was helpful for many of you. So decision. Oh, good. We were just talking about this as well, like coming to a decision where you are very happy with the outcome. Are too many things happening at once? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Don't make hasty or emotional decisions under pressure. Choose the one that excites you the most. Oh, beautiful. Wonderful. So again, for some of you, there are some situations that are what we talked about, like dangerous, or could have very significant consequences, and you're going to be able to come up with a solution and really find the answer and the path forward in which you will be happy and you will be pleased with the outcome. We have spirituality. Everything happens for a reason. It is time to grow your spirituality. Think about your spiritual aspects, study spiritual matters, and practice connecting to the divine at a deeper level. And for this card, I'm really getting the sense that this is very much applicable for those of you doing some generational healing, ancestral work, because your ancestors are part of the collective, part of the conscious collective. They have returned to be with Source, to be in heaven, and it's good to connect with them. And for others of you, I think this really speaks strongly to your creative aspect, because what is art but an expression of your heart, an expression of your spirit? All right, so by connecting with your spirit, by connecting with your heart, you can express yourself quite authentically, I would say, you know? And we have give and receive. Be willing to give and be open to receiving. You need to be in balance between what you give and what you receive. Things that go around come around. And I would say this is definitely emphasizing the receiving part here. All right. You are in prime position to receive this divine inspiration, this clearing of energy, these new offers of love and requests for a date, this receiving this new beginning, this new path forward, this fresh start in life. So, oh, I love it. These are aligning so beautifully. Now, this card here we're going to pull is a sacred geometry card, and the purpose and my intent for sharing this card with you is to activate you on the subconscious level, to really facilitate this clearing, all right? And get really the ball rolling here so you can move on to these wonderful new opportunities that are in your path here. Oh man, I'm so excited for you. This is amazing. So let's see, perception. So here, take a moment now to look at this image here. I would encourage you to maybe pause the video and look at the image for a few seconds or a minute and just gaze intently on it. So this card says perception. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Definitely. Okay, so I'm seeing here with this that it's really about examining what your beliefs are. What do you believe your life can turn out to be like? What do you believe is possible for you as far as success and love and happiness are? And really challenge the boundaries. So like push the boundaries, right? Maybe some people are like, oh, I want to be a millionaire, right? They say that, but do they really believe it? And look, like what do you really think is the peak or the pinnacle of your bank account gonna look like? Okay, what do you think in your life is going to be the highest number you'll ever see on your bank account statement? All right, and really look at that closely and say, why is it that number? Why do I believe that is my limit? Okay, and then push that boundary a little bit further and start to see the ways in which that can be possible for you. All right. Oh my gosh, I'm really, really excited. Definitely, I'm seeing for you more so than I felt for the other cards is Bloodstone is going to be a wonderful crystal for you to work with as you move forward after all these energies are cleared. All right, so if this resonated with you, if you enjoyed your reading on any level, please make sure to like and comment down below. And I invite you, of course, to subscribe to this channel as well if you enjoy the energies here and you really resonated with the reading. And if you'd like, I did go ahead and just link another reading up here, and you can go ahead and explore that and receive some more inspiration and guidance through those readings. Otherwise, this was truly such a pleasure, and I'm so happy that we were able to share this time together and I could pass these very, very beautiful messages to you. Sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. Bye!